I am up to something super geeky today, and so I wanted to make a little video to capture some of this. This is mainly for my computer programming students, and the point of this video, I'm going to be using AI to solve a really geeky problem, but having some knowledge of computer programming and some background is so helpful in understanding what this thing is trying to tell me. Anyways, here's what's happening. I recently discovered that I have a water leak in my home. And unfortunately, the water company, they only provide you with an estimate of your water usage once a month. That's it. And you don't get to see what you used on a daily basis. You only get to see how much you used that month and all the months in the past. So it was obvious there was a leak because my usage was way high, but it was not obvious whether the leak was still present. Or actually, it wasn't even obvious that there was a leak. It was just obvious that my usage was far more than normal. Okay, so if I would have had the ability to monitor my water usage on a daily basis, then I could determine whether there was a continuous ongoing leak. So, anyways, I talked to the water company about this, and they say, yeah, you got an old meter, and all we can do is, update you once a month. Turns out, fortunately, I actually can go and look at the meter and eyeball it, and that's not a terrible way to go. But I'm a geek, and I learned that the signal that my meter is putting out is easily readable, and using off-the-shelf electronics and software. And there's a group of folks that wrote some open source free software that will let me read and decode whatever comes off my meter. So I went online to Amazon.com and I bought this handy little device. This is called an RTL SDR. Mainly, it's the SDR that's important. SDR stands for Software Defined Radio. And what that means is I can listen in on radio signals, and software can be used to determine to actually make it so I can hear or see what is on those signals. And by the way, let me go ahead and show you that software real quick if I can. The software that goes with it is called SDR Sharp. Let's go ahead and run that baby. If I can. Oh, it takes a little while for this to run. Let's see how it goes. I might pause the recording for a second here. Oh, there it is. So here's SDR Sharp, and let me see if I can go ahead and let's go ahead and choose my source. And did it? No. The source is what? Source. Oh, usually there's like a list of. Oh, you know what? I unplugged the RTL SDR. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside for now. Say goodbye to that. And we'll go back to this. Let's see, what else? The other thing is you need something called a Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is like a little mini computer, and you can see here you can get these. I happen to have an old one laying around, this particular model, the Pi 2 Model B, and you can get these on eBay for like 40 bucks. So anyways, with those two pieces of electronics, I can now read my own meter remotely and log the data over a period of time. So anyways, I went to Claude AI, and it's been helping me figure out how to get this done. And I've already had to do like 100 different steps, and all of them were technical. But these last few steps are I think they're interesting enough that I wanted to share them with you. So what Claude is doing right now, first of all, I have to connect I'm sitting at my Windows PC desktop computer, and what I want to do is I want to connect to my Raspberry Pi in order to give it some commands. So I'm going to go ahead, and it's called SSH. And we'll go ahead and the Raspberry SSH is the means of communication. My username is Michael W. and the name of the Raspberry Pi that for me is water meter. So this will try to get me connected. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes, I am. And it's asking me for my password to log in, so I will. Let's see. Sorry, I had to take my time on that because I could not see the password as I was typing it in, so I wanted to make sure I got it right. Anyways, I am now logged in, and Claude is asking me to do several things. And one of the things it wants me to do is it already gave me a Python script, and here you can see the Python script. If you're in my computer programming class, you and I are learning to write code using Python, and here is a real world application of Python, and I would say relatively complicated. Anyways, what this script does is it simply takes the data that's coming in from my software defined radio device, and it does a thing called parsing. It parses out the information and finds out what my water usage is. It strips that out, and it's going to create a file for me. Let's see, does it say anywhere in here where it's going to make the file? I don't see it right now, but at a bare min, it's definitely stripping out the information. Anyways, I already created that file and and Claude says then paste this, copy and paste. So here it says open the file, and then here you're going to copy and paste the file, and I already did that. And then it said that I have to adjust another file, and I already did that. And now there's a third file, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. It's giving me the command that I need so that on the Raspberry Pi, I will be able to open up the third file, and you can see it's blank. And then it tells me here's the text that needs to go into that third file. So there is no doubt that I am using AI to guide me through this process. That doesn't mean you don't need to know anything, okay? My belief is that it's really important to understand what's going on so that you can play an interactive role with the AI. Anyways, after this, to save the file. By the way, I've been working on computers for at least 40 years now, had lots of experience with Windows and Macs and Linux and Unix systems. And this editor is a very common editor in Unix systems. It's called the Nano. And it just so happens that Raspberry Pi runs off of a variant of Unix called, it's a variant of Linux, and Linux is a variant of Unix, a variation. Anyways, let me go ahead and write this file now that I've pasted in the data. So I'll do Control O and then Enter. And then we'll do Control X, and that exits that editor. And then what does it say to do next? Then it says, now that you've edited those files, let's go ahead and start them. So normally I would think I would want to do these one at a time, but I'm just going to try to copy them and paste them all in at once, and let's see what happens. So let's go ahead and hit Enter. Will it do all of those, or we'll get some feedback down here in just a second and see. It's doing something, but it could be just the first command. We'll know soon enough. Check that it's working. We'll do that as soon as my prompt comes back. There's my prompt. Let's go ahead and check and see that that stuff is working. So Control V, we'll paste. And the water logger service looks like it is working. You should see it active and running. Let's see here. Now see, because I know some things, I know what questions to ask. The good thing is I don't see any error messages, so I think I got each of those to go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's probably all working. Normally, if I wasn't sure, I'd go in and I'd double check with Claude and say, hey, I think it's working because I can see here that when I do these two, I had to do both of these things, and both of these things are what were being set up here. So anyways, next it says give it a minute and then peek at the database. So let's go ahead. Let's check to see it's working. That was it. We did that. Let's go ahead and give it a minute, and then let's look at the data that it's collected. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this command, and this will show me. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So this is a great part where I need to interact. Okay. Try that end to end. Let me know. Well. Let's see here. The problem is I don't have SQLite 3 up and running. Let's see here. It says SQLite. By the way, SQLite is it's a small database manager. So if you are familiar with Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, it's a little bit like that, but more powerful. Command not found. What Claude will do now is it will it'll walk me through the steps to install SQLite, I believe. Let's see what it says. No problem, it's just not installed. Let's do it. So here's the command to install it. So we'll go over here and get that baby going. And over here you can see some status indication on installing the SQLite. Now, I don't know that I'm going to take you all the way through to the end. I just wanted to show you that I am super comfortable with everything that's happening right now. And one of the reasons why I'm super comfortable is because I have all this experience. I've seen these things in bits and pieces before. The AI is definitely helping to guide me through the steps so that I don't have to recall them and I don't have to go look each one up individually. It's saving me time and it's making me more efficient. But I don't know how the average person would be able to do all this stuff and be sure that anything was working properly, without having this background that I have in programming and computer science in general. Anyways, let me see how the recording's going. I don't have oh, there it is. Wow, we're already 12 minutes in. I kind of feel like I've shown you enough. So I think for now, I'm just going to call it quits. And in the end, maybe I'll share with you when I'm in class. If you are interested, I'll share with you the outcome of all this stuff. But it's pretty cool. Oh, let me see if I can show you a little something. Is there anything that I can share with you that's kind of neat? Let me see. That's not doing it. One of the things that I have going on right now is I have my Raspberry Pi monitoring my water meter right now, and it's already providing data. It's just that it's providing a lot of stuff that I don't need. So I'm just going back through the log file of all the things that it's told me. Let me see if I can show you here. Oh, here we go. So I have this screen running. This is called a DOS command window in Windows. And so here I can run commands like I could on a more powerful Unix type server. Right now this window is in real time. It's gathering data from my meter, and you can see mostly I'm getting a bunch of stuff that is not keeping up with the that's just kind of like noise in the background. But eventually I do get some information that tells me a little bit more about what's happening at my meter, how much water I'm consuming, whether there's a leak now. And if I scroll all the way down, I can actually see what's happening. This will let me know every time there's an update that's actually interesting. All right, anyways, that's about it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.